We are back in our gold mine, extending our drift. On today's video, we're going to do some drilling and blasting. We're going to show you the whole process from drilling the holes, cleaning them out, to setting up the explosive charges, and then after the blast comes the real work of getting it all mucked out. But we have run into a problem with our drift, and we got to figure out what's going on. Even with the problems we face, we're still finding gold, we're still having a lot of fun, and we're still making big booms. All right, here he's working his way in, scaling. Here's our first little peak. We got a whole bunch of waste there that we're gonna have to deal with. A few pieces made it all the way out here. They're washing the face. We've got it scaled all the way back in. Looks like we broke right to our little slip there that's been causing us all those problems with the water. I'm excited. I'll wait till he's done and then we'll get a tour of what's going on at the face there. Well, we broke back to that face. Really nice. That's that slip that was making all that water. It's just smooth as can be. There's a little bit right there where there's water coming out. See it trickling out of there. That's what was causing us all our problems with our wet holes. The vein's really pinched down. It's down about a foot or maybe less over here. But it's doing something real weird in here as we get close to the slip and as we get close to the fault. It's kind of coming up here and then it peters out and dives down. This slip may be have a little bit of movement to it. Don't know if it was before or after emplacement, but I think it's interesting that it's pinching right as you get to this little slip, and afterwards you might have something else going on. But we're working through our muck pile here. Harry's doing his job, just mucking away. Right, Harry?
Yeah.
We've done it. We mucked the whole waste blast in one day.
Stand up.
Here's the face. We got to take that little bit of the corner off of there. We'll get that later today. But we mucked the whole thing all the way out. We had muck all over the place. That's the king's throne here. This is where we're sitting.
That's number to replace the slusher is 3. Inefficient, but 3.
We got it all mucked. We were just getting set up to drill again, and we had a couple of pieces come off the wall we scaled off. There's some really nice gold there, but wait till you see the piece that came out of this hole. Look at that piece of gold. That is just one huge piece of wire. I think that's the biggest piece of gold I've ever seen come out of this mine. That is huge. Right along with all these tellurides. More gold here. That is a monster piece for this mine. Oh, I'm so excited. This is the spot. This right here, this pocket right here, right along this line is where the good stuff is coming from. Man, oh man. That gets you going. I was all disappointed we got to drill a bunch of waste today, but we ended up finding the biggest piece of gold we ever found. We're going to continue our way forward here towards the raise, but we are making an agonizing decision here. The vein continues through it. The vein hanging wall is right about here. You can kind of see the quartz through the mud, but the vein is very small right here. It's about 16, 18 inches maybe. It's pinching this way. The fault is over here somewhere. And we've decided we're not going to take any of this ore. We're just going to do one full eye drift round, one full round, and take it all as waste, and then we'll see what's going on the other side of this little slip here. It's really tough because, you know, that's good ore there, but it would just take too long, and there's just not enough of it there to make it worth our while. So we'll drill a 4-foot round here in this face, advance another 4 feet, shoot it all. It'll all go to waste. We'll pick out any big pieces we can find of the ore, It won't be very much. And then we'll get a good look on what's going on past this little joint. But it's really, really hard to shoot this good ore as waste, but we gotta make some footage here. We're gonna paint out our round so everybody can see kind of where we're going. I like to start with a 5-hole burn here. So there's our 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to box that in. 2, 3, 4. And then we'll diamond around that. 3, 4. And then we'll do another box. We can kind of space them out now because we're going to have a big old hole here. 2, 3, 4. My finger's covering the hole. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3 across there. And maybe that'll do 2. 2 there. And then we'll come down, we'll do a row of 3 across here. 2, 3, and then our lifters. I like to do 4 lifters just to make sure you really get it blasted out of there. And so I think that's about 24 holes, 25 holes. They're not set in stone, so if we start drilling and something happens, we want to change things around, we can change stuff. But that's kind of a real quick, dirty, basic pattern for a drift round. And the whole idea is you start tight. This hole we will not load, so you'll have somewhere for the first hole to break to. You start opening up a hole, you open up the bigger hole, you open up the diamond, you open up the box, and then you start breaking stuff to the middle. That's kind of how it goes. And on some of these that are out here on the ribs, we may wing them out just a little bit so we can get some width to our drift. We're shooting for about 4 feet, which is about what we have here. This is a real nice working space and real nice for when we get our slusher bucket in here. So that's what we'll try, see how it goes. Oh, we did it. We got the whole round drilled. Oh, I'm tired. Harry, that was a lot of work, huh?
We forgot lunch again.
We forgot lunch again.
What time is it?
I don't want to say.
Okay.
It's 5:45.
Yeah, don't make fun of us.
We started, when did we start? About 12:30 or 1?
Yeah, we got going around 11, mucked a little, and then we got going around 12:30.
Oh, we got distracted by this gold right here in the face.
Should show them the big one again.
Man, that's just fantastic gold. Yeah, let's go look at the big one. This is my new favorite rock of all time, I think. Look at that, it's almost as wide as my finger.
All your subscribers say, hell with it, just crush it all.
Crush it up! No, that's going in the collection, I think. That's a nice piece. Gold all back over here. Gold here. That one's actually loose, I think. Oh no, there's one on here that was loose. Yeah. So, that's what we did today. I just got done loading and hooking up the round. And here's what we got. Spaghetti monster. We got our number 1, 2, 3, 4. Those blue clips. You clip them up in order you want them to go. And then I start opening up the middle with my square, and then my diamond, and then my larger square. And then I start taking the top and the bottoms in. So I've got all the blue clips are hooked up except for the very last two, the last 2 corner lifters. They'll be out here as little tattletales, so if we find those and those went, it means the whole round went. So Harry's loading the stemming in the holes, and that keeps the gases in, gives us a much better breakage than without stemming. So we'll get the stemming all tamped in. And that really, really helps. I'm a fan of stemming. I was a little skeptical at first, but we did a test shot here a week or two ago without stemming, and it didn't do well at all. So the stemming really makes it work.
Thank you, sir. You're getting two.
All right, so I'm about to light this thing off. I'm waiting for Harry to call me on the mine phone here behind me. But what you're gonna hear is you're gonna hear soft little pops. Pop, 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 pop. There will be about 15 to 20. And those will be those blue clips that I showed you earlier. And that's igniting the cap down at the bottom. So you'll hear those every 300 milliseconds. Pop, 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 pop. And then 7 seconds later, you'll hear the first big boom. And it'll go boom, 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 boom. And that'll be the caps at the bottom of the holes going with all the powder and the ampho. They delay them so you can get all the signals down to the bottom of the hole before the first big blast goes, because if you have the big blast going before the signal gets down to the bottom, you'll start cutting off your signals and your caps won't all go and you'll have a big mess. Well, it's our first night blast. It's dark out there. Been working all day for this. Here we go. Whoa! That was a big one. That was a good blast. Whew, I felt that one in my chest and in my feet. All right, it's the next morning. We're gonna vent out our workings a little bit here, get all the gases out. Here's our little vent fan and our airbag. I got the compressor going, so I turn this on and that vent bag. We've scaled our way back to the kind of collar of our drift here. Harry's getting her washed down. Big pile of muck. It's all pretty much staying contained inside the drift now. There's just a little bit out here. We'll get cleaned up and then push our rail back in.
I grabbed another long section of track back there.
Okay.
Road station we can drag in.
I like that metal track.
Yeah, me too. We're gonna pull some of that up from down below.
Yep. How are we looking back there? Looking pretty good.
It looks flat.
It looks like it broke to the back. There's a few holes I see over on the right rib over here, but it looks pretty good.
Those are the holes I went a little too far, maybe like 3 or 4 inches too far on some of those.
Okay. I'm definitely glad we're past that slip. It looks fairly dry back there now. That slip was giving us all sorts of water problems. So I'm glad we're through that. Looks like the vein is there on the face. So we'll give you an update here in a couple of minutes once we're scaled back and everything's safe. We got everything kind of scaled down as best we could. Washed down some. Our vein here is about 1 foot wide, maybe a little less. It's widening out on the right rib here. Here's our slip that's been giving us problems. And that goes all the way up and around, all the way across the back, and down here to the other side of the vein, or the other side of the drift, I guess. It does not look like there's been any movement post emplacement. but it does look like this slip was here during emplacement. We had a real nice defined vein coming in here, and then as soon as you get within 2 or 3 feet of the slip, it starts going all kind of wonky here. It crosses the slip, the vein stays intact, but it pinches quite a bit. It also looks like there might be a little bit of quartz kind of up around the slip, but not much. And it's quite interesting. I did a structural geology problem on a very similar to this, where we had to calculate a fault or a slip and a vein emplacement, and would the vein cut through the fault or would it go up the fault? And depending on the pressures and the stresses on the rock, the vein will cut right through the slip, just like it did here. I mean, this is a textbook example of if this slip was here before the vein was in place, the pressures were just right, the vein will cut right across that slip. So it's kind of cool to calculate it 20 years ago in class and then see it happen in real life. But the vein seems to be pinching and diving a little bit here as well. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. It's supposed to be going up, not down. Right, Harry? Why is our vein going the wrong way?
I don't know. We'll find out shortly.
But we have muck upon muck upon muck here to get cleaned up today. Probably 2 days. This is a 2-day project, don't you think?
I'm not going to answer that right
now. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. So we'll get started on mucking here. It's going to be, this is the definition of a marathon. It's going to take us more than a day to get this cleaned up. You're going to see it happen in about 2 minutes, but it's going to take us all day doing it by hand, by buckets, 3 buckets at a time, pushing it down the rail on the cart. And you just can't get too excited. You'll burn yourself out. So you just got to go slow and steady and pick your way through it. I remember Chad last year was saying, you just focus on what's right in front of you. Don't look at the whole pile. You get overwhelmed. Just your whole world is the next bucket, the next scoop, and you just work on that until it's done.
I look at the whole damn pile the whole time.
And Harry just looks at the whole pile. Harry's overwhelmed all the time we're in here. Overwhelmed is not the right word, but it's a lot.
Gainfully employed.
Gainfully employed. That's right. Job security here. That's for sure. But this is, I don't know, this is 6 tons, 8 tons, 10 tons? More? Yeah. We're going to move it all by hand.
I call this 15 to 18 tons.
15 to 18 tons?
At least.
Well, we'll agree to disagree on that one. Think it's that much?
Yeah. If I calculated from here to where you're sitting, that's about what, 15 feet?
Yeah, 20.
And then you're probably up sitting about 3 feet.
Yeah.
Do the Pythagorean theorem on that.
Well, and I guess if you loaded all this in a dump truck, you know, it'd fill a dump truck, and that's 10, 12 yards.
15 times 3.
It's a lot of muck. We're miners. We're not going to be doing a bunch of math. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of buckets, and we're going to move them all.
3 times 3.
Oh, he's doing math. I got to shut the camera off now. He's doing Pythagorean theorem over there. We're going to improve our track here a little bit. We've got just pieces like right there. They're just kind of sitting there. The cart's getting hung up on them. So we're going to try and do about 15, 20 minutes worth of work on our track and get it a little more solid so the cart rolls better. Add a few sleepers, tack it together a little bit. I'll see what I can get on camera here.
And Jason has acquired this thing, and he's been beating on it, trying to straighten it out. He's almost there.
This thing's a turd, man.
It's a turd.
But it's a whole lot better than bringing it all the way up from 800 feet from the blacksmith shop.
Well, we're going to polish that turd, so I'm good with it. If anybody has a track bender that they don't want, let me know, and I'll come drive and get it from you, because we're going to need it here in the near future, at least for next season. Or if somebody has plans on how to fab one up, we'd probably fab it up a lot faster. There's Jason beating the track into submission again.
Track repair.
Yep, track repair.
This is as jippo as you get here.
Yeah.
Just cheap, fast, tie our tracks together. But now we've got good track tied together at the corner, straight shot to the muck pile. Put another sleeper down there, and then we can just keep extending our track out. It's gonna be great. Right here, it's gonna be great. Okay, test her out.
Nice.
That's fun.
Got a downhill slope, at least right here.
Ready to go. And this is what it looks like. I push the cart back here and start building Muck Mountain. We get the muck as high as we can with the buckets, and then the last couple feet to the back, we throw the bigger rocks up there to just plug the whole thing off. Tool station, and then there's our rail going back towards working. We probably got almost 50 feet of rail now. But if you guys are as crazy as we are and think this looks like fun and want to come help out, send me an email. I'll put an email address right down here at the bottom, and email me. We got to get you some training and stuff, but if you want to come work for the season, shoot me an email and we'll see if you're cut out to muck with Jason and Harry. Well, Harry, it's lunchtime.
Yeah, it is.
We've been going 2 hours and 15 minutes. We started at 9:45 mucking this morning, and we are more than halfway, we think. Probably hard to tell from this angle, but
Ignore this pile over here. We're leaving that.
yeah, all this stuff we've decided is just going to stay here, and we just want a little walkway through here. We can get the drill, and then starting about here back to the face, we're going to clear all the way out because we need the room for the leg. But we've gone, what, 20 feet?
Yeah, about that.
15 feet?
Here, track your scale.
And we've moved a lot of muck in 2 hours. So I think in another 2 or 3 hours we'll have this all cleaned up. And then the plan is to set up and maybe drill a few holes. If we're lucky or unlucky enough. Are we going to be lucky enough to drill a few holes or unlucky enough to drill a few holes? No comment.
Well, how about we set the drill up after we get done mucking, and if we feel the need to drill, we'll drill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good. Lunchtime.
Lunchtime.
We just finished. It's 4 o'clock now. We had 3 hours this afternoon, 2 hours and 15 minutes this morning. So it's that 5.5 hours, somewhere in there. So we killed it. Here's our face. Our lifters went beautiful. They kicked out underneath even a little bit. We got a little bit of a belly here. Not much, maybe 6-8 inches. And then there's our back all the way up there. We're to the point now where we're a little bit high. I can reach about 8.5 feet. So we went too high on our back. So we'll bring that down a little bit so we won't have to muck as much. Our vein is pinching. The next round will be all waste again. We've picked out a little bit of the larger stuff we'll bag up. But now we'll set up the drill, airline, water line, and be all ready for tomorrow morning. We do it all over again. I'm up in the raise. Harry's above me, I think about 12 feet drilling. I can hear the bit knocking. I don't know if you can hear that. He's right above me. That's cool. We've got our face all loaded again. Harry's working on stemming. I'm going to clean up a little bit of prill we have left out of our prill pot. A couple of caps and stuff. Get that cleaned up. Back down to the magazines right after we blow this stuff.
Missed. I think I'm tired.
I'm tired too. This has been a long day. But we're going to make a big boom and it's all going to be worth it.
Yeah, this is an ugly face. I don't want to see this ugly face again.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted just a nice, flat, beautiful looking face.
There's something going on back there when we were drilling. Kept getting these like soft spots and the drill would just lurch forward. Smelled like sulfur. And get past it.
All kinds of weird stuff can happen when you get close to that fault. This will be a good round. We got a lot of caps in here. 35, I think. 34, 35 holes, something like that. Spaced them a little bit closer together. Hopefully that'll help the face pull right to the back of these holes. I was really careful to get the burn pretty close in the box and the diamond.
But we're all stemmed.
All stemmed.
It's on you now.
All right, I'll hook them up. Well, I don't think you can see me at all, but we're doing another night blast. I just got to get my battery here. Okay, here we go. That sounded pretty good. I mixed two different cap delays. I think it worked fine. Yeah, our mix of caps I think worked out fine.
Roger.
All right, we'll see what happens tomorrow.